Hi, my name is John Michael, and I will be explaining how utopia is involved in digital culture. You can find utopias almost anywhere, but they are very common within the media realm. I compared two articles with their similarities and differences. The first one I read was called Why the Rich Love Burning Man by Keith Spencer. It talks about a week-long festival that goes on in a desert where people bring their own items to create a type of utopia, their own utopia. There aren't many rules. There are 10 main rules, and one of them is that everyone is equal. But recently, the rich have been bringing more items, so they are celebrated more. And that kind of ruins this idea of equality within the utopia. The essence of Burning Man, a few are racial inclusion, which is race does not matter. You can be whatever race and still be accepted. There's radical self-expression, where everyone is pushed to being yourself. There's decommodification, which is that everyone is socially accepted, and then a few groups of people that are there, situationalists. They believe that cities became oppressive slabs of labor and consumption, so they come out to this festival and do their own thing. It's a democratic society, which means that everyone has equal voice, and whatever you say doesn't mean anything more than the person next to you. And there are capitalists, who are people that want to remake the world without anyone's input, and they do that through this festival. But the main point of the whole article was that the Burning Man Festival has brought together many people through music and created its own utopia in a desert. The next article I read was called The Digital Generations, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly by Peter Paul, and it kind of explained the positive and negative sides of modern technology and how technology and social media and media in general has become a utopia in itself. Some of the positive and better things it talked about is how it can connect people around the world and find information much faster than before. You can talk to family members much faster. You can Google something and your answer is right there, and you can access whatever you want when you want it. Some of the bad things about social media are the lack of social skills over time. People get so used to typing on their phone, they don't know how to talk to other people in person. There's cyberbullying, of course. It's been proven that people have become addicted to their screens and just hunching over, looking at their screen all day. There's instant gratification, and obviously there's always plagiarism. But the main point of this whole article was that digital media has its positives and negatives, but these advantages and disadvantages create completely digital utopias on everyone's personal device. A few similarities between both of these articles are that they both explain how a utopia was created through media, and that media meaning whether it's technology or your phone or music. Both of these explain what can happen in a utopia with little to no rules, the dangers, but also the advantages. It explains how people are participants rather than attendees, and that everyone is equal, and that everyone is supposed to feel like a part of this society, this utopia. It also explains how people come together to create something bigger than themselves, a world-changing community. It's bigger than just yourself. And it also explains the dangers and advantages of these digital utopias. The differences between these articles, the article about Burning Man uses vocabulary that's more user friendly rather than Article 2, which used a lot of big words. Um, Article 1 talks about media as a music rather than Article 2, which talks about media as technology and social media. Um, Article 1 explains how people are supposed to be equal in this utopia, but over time, the rich have brought more things to this festival, so they get more praise. But on your phone, everyone's equal unless you count followers as unequal statuses, but for the most part, everyone is generally equal. Article 2 also talks about how you can mentally be changed from this slouching over on your phone all the time. People lose their social skills. People have grown these terrible anxieties, and generally people will not change at these festivals unless you take a bunch of psychedelics for a week straight and just go completely out of your mind. And finally, Article 1 talks about how you cannot physically become addicted to a festival. You can become addicted to things you do at the festival if you do a drug or something of that nature, but you cannot physically be addicted to a song or a festival. But people have been proven to become addicted to their screens and always looking at their phone if something changed in the past 5 minutes.